Good morning and welcome to For The Drive, and welcome back to the XE. Today's video is actually all about this car because I have now owned this car for 6 months. I have loved every second and I will continue to do so, but with owning things for any period of time, especially in 6 months, you start to pick up opinions of things you don't like, things you do like, things you might change. So in this video I'm going to outline a few points that I don't like, a few points that I do like, any modifications that I've been thinking about or have been presented to me as an option, and if I were to get another car or replace this, what would it be? So yeah, today is all about the Jaguar XE. Let's have some fun! The exhaust system. It's okay. It's not great in any shape or form. It does occasionally pop and bang when it's nice and hot, which is nice, but it doesn't have a nice, that much of a tone, and even it's only barely audible even when it's in full dynamic mode, manual gear shift, and I'm flooring it. It's only kind of just really, it's there but not really. It's not in your face like I'd like a nice car exhaust to be, and the finish of the actual exhaust tips it just looks unfinished to me. But yeah, I don't like it. That is a mod that I will cover later in the video, but that's something I'm definitely wanting to look at. The speakers, it's not that great. Okay, once again, it's not terrible. The tone, it's not like you get full treble and no bass whatsoever, but it's always lacking behind a little bit compared to other systems that I've had in other cars, as well as other cars of similar price on the market now. I think the baseline of this that this came with should have been a higher quality. The actual infotainment system itself is actually fine, but now I'm used to it. It's quite a bit different to what my previous car was. The one thing that I do have a big problem with is that how slow it is to start up in the morning or when you start the car. You turn the car on, it starts up, you think, oh okay, I'm going to go somewhere now, I need the sat-nav screen. You press the sat-nav and you immediately get a window saying sat-nav is still initializing. It's like, okay, again, and again. And like 30 seconds to a minute later, oh okay, we're back now. I had the same issue with the voice recognition thing. It takes at least a minute and a half, if not sometimes 2 minutes, depending on how urgently I want it. That's what it feels like anyway. So it's just like, okay, I want to ring my wife, for example. And I've just started the car, I'm on my way home from work. And admittedly, I don't live that far away from work, but it's still annoying that I go, oh okay, I've got to wait another 30 seconds. Oh, I've got to wait again. Great. I'm almost home. That whole thing that I wanted to ask her about before on the way home, like a journey to pop to the shop or whatever, totally pointless right now. It's not normally something that you chat about on car channels and car chat, things like that. The fuel efficiency is rated at 37.7 combined. Even when I'm in eco mode, which I do sometimes, it's got to work and back, and I'm just poodling along town, driving and things like that, it's still, I'm only getting about high 20s. And when I go to, I want to put it in dynamic and start playing with the sports gearbox setting, you're down to 12, and that just doesn't make sense to me. Why am I getting such low miles per gallon, even when I decide to be conservative with my power usage and things like that? It's like, why? Sometimes I get home from wherever I'm going, I look at the fuel economy and go, what the and it's just ridiculous. I just get angry by it. It's like, well, this is not what the figures say. is kind of a crossover between the good points and the bad points. So I'll say what I don't like about the looks and then move into the good list. It's not flamboyant enough for my liking. Don't get me wrong, I love it, and I will describe why I love it when I get to the good side. But I just wish the R Sport had a little bigger of a lip wing. The front splitter was a little meaner looking. The side skirts are actually pretty good. I quite like the side skirts. That makes it look quite a bit meaner and lower stance, which is nice. But I just kind of wish there was a little bit more of a... I just want a bit more of an outrageous feel to it, because it's supposed to be the sport version of this model. And I myself have driven past other XEs on the road and had to kind of look for fine details to tell you which one it is. That takes me to the good side of the looks. Actually, as a general car, I think it's really good looking. I think this is probably my favourite compact executive family saloon, whatever you want to class it as. The J headlight, the J blades on the daytime running lights that they've modified from the F-Type are sweet. They just look so good. I love them so much. And I do really like the fact that they took the rear U-shape from the F-Type as well and put that on the back as a daytime running light. As I said, I do like the side skirts, and I do like the fact that there is a little tiny lip wing on the back. The quality of the interior, it's so comfortable. Like, these seats, almost a point by themselves, but are decent 14-way, adjustable with the memory system, which I didn't spec when I was building one, but now having it, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Everything is just so well made, so quiet. Like, you don't get the rattles like I have had in previous vehicles. This is still the baby Jag. It is the smallest, the cheapest, and most affordable from because their aim was to hit younger people. Really high quality. Like, the whole dash is all made of leather. Even the plastic, when you've got plastic because they're hard wearing, doesn't feel that cheap at all. They've had to make some cost cuts, because it's the cheapest Jag, but it still feels refined. It still feels like it should be a Jaguar, which is what I think is a big winner. The performance is, for a car like this, I would say very silly and almost unnecessary. I mean, there are more powerful ones. Again, this is purely my opinion of this car, not cars in general. Now, having been in it for 6 months and being finding out when to change gear and when to put the foot down, things like that, you kind of get that. You find out how the car works at its best. It is. I can quite quickly, like I say, even with the traction control system fully on and the tyres nice and hot, if you get it right, you can make it all spin off the line. You put the traction control, there's a two-stage traction control system. You can have it half off and completely off as well. So with half off, I've had it a little bit step out around corners, which is terrifying the first few times it happens, but man, is it fun. And it really does actually want to launch at every opportunity in dynamic mode, and you put the gears so it doesn't change gears for you. You drop a couple of gears and go, and it still throws me back. Even though I know that it's coming, it still throws me back into the seat. And for a 2-litre inline-4 with a turbo, it's good. I enjoy it, and I would like to say that I've got used to it now, so I know what I can get away with within reason. Moving on to modifications, there are a few that I've looked at since owning it, and to be honest, I would have already organised at least one, if not two, by now. But at the moment, I am dealing with the joys that is moving house. So not only is all my time being wasted, all of my money is disappearing quite rapidly. It's just horrible. So I have had to kind of put off modifications and a lot of expenses that I would have rather have done already this year. But as soon as I am settled in my new home, I will be booking in the first modification. The first thing that I think I'm probably going to do is I really want to get the black pack installed via Jaguar on the front, which changes the silver grille surround as well as the little blades at the bottom and the side vents. As I mentioned when I picked it up in the video of my collection video, I wanted them black, and I spec'd it all when I was building them myself on the computer. Like you can spec it online. Every time I put the black pack on, but this one didn't have it, and I was like, well, I can live with it for now, but after living with it, I definitely want to get rid of it. I have had some prices to have a new exhaust system made. You can get, for the XES, you can get companies that already like prefabricated systems. I did contact them. I spoke to them and said to them that I've got the 240, not the S. Is there a way that that could be modified, or will it fit, etc. I basically just asked their opinion, and they came back and was quite honest and said, to be honest, they could fit it on, but it's not been developed with it, so they don't know whether it would actually hinder the performance, make it sound bad. I just didn't know what would happen, so they said that it's probably wiser for me not to spend my money on buying a prefabricated set. Fair enough. There is a couple of companies not too distant from myself. I actually got quotes to have one completely made, custom built for the car, which actually isn't as bad a price as I was expecting, considering it's going to be fabricated from stainless steel from scratch. And I also get like my choice of the exhaust tips and things like that, and I'll hopefully be able to have a bit of say of what I can make it sound like. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I have found also on a website, which I really like the idea. I think it's a little bit, maybe a bit over the top, but I love it. Is that I found a company that make solid carbon fibre. They do a front splitter system. Basically it's like a lip that goes underneath the existing bumper. I've also seen they do a slightly bigger version of the lip wing in carbon fibre, which does look pretty cool actually. I think I quite like that one. They do a carbon fibre rear diffuser system with some extra like ridges built into it, so it just makes it look a bit more flamboyant as well. That goes around the exhaust system. And they also do solid carbon fibre side skirts. I definitely want to get the lip wing. That looks so good. On the examples that they show, just looks fantastic, so I definitely want that. I quite like the idea of the extra front splitter system, because I think that would actually make it look a little cooler. The rear diffuser is a must, because it looks way cooler than just the black plastic. The other option was, with that rear valance that's there, was to have it wrapped in just either like a gloss black effect, or make it body colour, like make it blue to match the body. But I actually, now I've seen the carbon fibre, I'm really tempted by it. I think that's about it for the moment. I haven't seen any other modifications, or certainly not seen any other body parts and things that I've gone, oh, that'll fit my car. What car would I get as well as, or would I replace the car? I personally don't think I would want to replace this. For what I bought it for, to be a comfortable yet sporty daily driver, I think it ticks every single box that I could have hoped for. So I am totally happy with it, so I don't think I'd replace it, certainly not yet. Other cars that I kind of like the idea of owning, I really like the idea of the Abarths, like the 500, the 595 and the 695. 695 is a little bit too pricey for me, as considering the size of it. Other people like them, and I'm sure they're probably fantastic. I've never driven one, but I just like the idea of maybe the Abarth 500 or the 595, as almost that would, I don't know, I'd swap between this and that being the daily, depending on what I was doing. But something about them really appeals to me, because they're supposed to be fun little, like almost like pocket rockets. The Mustang I did test drive before buying this as a potential, but as a daily I don't think it would work. But as an actual like kind of weekend or show, a bit more about like an actual sports car that I can take out to events and do videos with, totally down with that. That they just look, sound, and have so much more power than they need. I don't know, it's something there, once again, something about them definitely sings to me. I am a big fan of American muscle kind of cars. I'm actually big fan of Aston Martin. The Vantages you can get, like, depending on at the moment, like price range at the moment, I'm told wildly varies, but I quite like the idea of maybe a V8 Vantage. The 718 Boxster is actually way more impressive than I was expecting. I have been very fortunate and have driven a 718 Cayman and a Boxster around the Silverstone handling track the Porsche own, and they are insanely well balanced, and even though they've gone to a slightly smaller and turbocharged engine, the power is still there. It's incredible. And the Boxster, we were going herring around this racetrack with the roof down. It was insane. So I must admit, I've actually got a little bit more respect than I did previous to the Boxsters, and the 718s are the nicest looking Porsche convertible I've ever seen, personally. Well, I hope this video has been insightful and informative of what it's like to own and live with the Jaguar XE on a daily basis. I think I'm going to call it a day. So thank you very much for watching. If you do have any more specific questions that I haven't managed to answer for you, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments box below, or contact me via any of the social media pages for the drive, Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. I am going to head on home, and I'll see you guys later.